Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pay to Drive. I hope you're doing great out there. Back by popular demand, we're doing more reaction content, this time to 50-something Dasher. And let me tell you, what he did here, you guys need to know about. So sit back, relax, and subscribe to him. His link's in the description. All right, if you're ready, comment, "I am ready."
Hello again, YouTube. This is Joe, the 50-something Dasher,
Hey,
with
Joe.
some big major news here to share in this video. I have made the decision to quit my W-2 that I've been working for over 26 of the last 28 years. You might as well say the vast majority of my adult life, I worked for this company. And so now...
Let me just say right from the get-go here, that is impressive, my friend. That you stayed at one job for 26 years, no matter, I don't know what it is, but for 26 years. People don't do that anymore. People are at a job maybe a couple of years, then they move on to something else in a lot of cases. So, hey, congrats.
Now 100% of my income is now going to come from gig work. So I'll go over what's transpired here recently, and then for those that might be new to the channel, I'll kind of give like a summary of like the whole timeline and how it all came to this, because I started out as a part-time gig worker. I'll also post a couple links in the...
Let me know real quick, guys. Are you a part-timer or full-timer? Comment part-timer or full-timer. And let's see if we can hit our 1 like goal.
The description to the couple past videos that I've done on this subject. But this all started a couple weeks ago. I'm just scheduled at the W-2 on, or I was on Tuesday and Wednesdays. So a couple weeks ago on Wednesday, I just was getting frustrated and, wasn't feeling good, and a couple various different things, issues I was having, and I left early. I was only there maybe like 2 hours on Wednesday, if that.
You've got mail.
I left.
Haven't heard that one in forever.
And I just tell myself, this is just not going to work out for me. It's just not. So basically, when I came back to the company in 2017, I landed into a position, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not.
How many of you right now are still working a W-2 position, whether it be a 9 to 5 or a 7 to 3, an overnight, whatever, and DoorDash is your secondary as your side hustle? Let me know in the comments.
Well, over time, I kind of fell in love with the position, and everything was going great and everything. Long story short, they eliminated the position. Okay, so then I was trying to figure out, well, what was I going to do next? I tried to go to another facility, but was having issues with that. So I stayed in the same facility doing a different job, and that I didn't really care for. If you're new to the channel, I was a warehouse worker. I mean, just bottom of the barrel warehouse worker in a dirty, filthy, disgusting, depressing, and miserable warehouse. Okay.
Have any of you guys ever worked in a warehouse before? I'll tell you, it's not a very simple job. Okay, I know plenty that have worked in warehouses. The ones that drive forklifts, though, they don't mind it. But pretty much everything else, they've never really been fans of.
This new job they put me in part-time. I had done the job before. I hated it back then. I hated it even more now. I just did not want to be in there. And originally I thought, well, it's just going to be 2 days a week, so I can handle it, I think. But I just couldn't do it, folks. The gig work now is what I want to do, and that was, it's kind of like doing the gig work and setting my own schedule, working at my own pace, my own hours. I run the show here. I dictate everything that I do in a day's time. I take offers and jobs that I want to take and control everything.
And see, this is what draws a lot of drivers to the gig economy, because they like the fact of, being your own boss to an extent, where you get to pick your hours or when you want to work or in which orders you're taking, etc. But a lot of people just don't see it that way. They don't feel that it's like that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And let's see if we can get 1 subscriber if you're new here. Thank you, guys.
And I was just burnt out on the W-2 work and having to go in there to set schedule, take breaks at a set time, do things the way they wanted done, and yada, yada, yada. And plus, I do this during the week. Every day that I do this, it's morning and lunchtime. And then that job, I was going in an evening shift. So it was kind of, disruptive to my weekly schedule, sleep schedule, all that kind of thing. Like I said, I just, I just couldn't take it. And so last week I called off both days. And then just a couple days ago on Monday, we went to the Ohio State Fair, and then soon after we got home from that, I went in to the W-2. I cleaned out, got some stuff out of my lockers, personal belongings, and sent an email to the HR saying that I wasn't coming back, and saying, what.
I gotta tell you guys, it takes very strong will and courage to walk away from a job of 26 years. That's something that most of us cannot even comprehend or understand in any way, because we haven't gone through it. So that's how I feel about it. What about you?
I wanted to do with my remaining PTO hours, and got an email pretty much right away, and it basically just said, well, thanks for letting us know, and good luck to you, and thanks for your years of service. And that was it. And if they could have put a picture of a middle finger next to that, they probably would have. And then I kind of, made a little bet / joke with my wife a little bit. The last couple years, I've heard multiple stories at the W-2 of people quitting, and these are not associates that I would consider like good quality associates that you would want on your team. Well, let's just put it that way. I'll put it nicely, okay? Associates that if I was running a business, I wouldn't want working for me. Okay, and multiple times I was told that certain individuals quit, and then a couple days later, whatever goes by, and our HR department would contact them and beg them to come back to work.
I had a feeling he was going to say that they reached out begging them to come back. So it's like, why not him? Why not Joe over here?
Work. Okay, so how much truth is there to that? I don't know, but when you hear something like that multiple times from multiple people, I don't know here, folks. So, funny story. Okay, so the next day, Tuesday, I was talking about this in a private journal video that I was recording, and I was telling this story just like this, and my phone rings. and it's the W-2. And I'm like, and I'm like, okay, here it is. I'm going to prove my wife wrong. They're going to be begging me to come back. But no, it was my manager who was like, hey, or where are you at? Are you coming into work or whatever? And I was like, no, I contacted HR. I told them I was quitting. I thought sure they'd immediately contact you, and she's like, no, they didn't get with me. So that's all that was. So
wow,
and no word today, or I
like that's such like a bummer of a call. You're like, oh, this is it, the call where they're gonna ask me to come back and offer me more money. No, one door closed and another opened, another DoorDash opened.
don't know if anybody will call me the rest of this week, but I kind of doubt it, so whatever. But anyway, just kind of like as a background for anybody that's new to the channel, I still would not, I would recommend people to have a W-2, okay? I stick by what I said in the video that I'll post in the description. I still stand by that, but everybody's situation's different.
Definitely go check out his channel, guys. His link is in the description, as he said.
And I just felt that I was in a situation, like I said, normally I wouldn't recommend this, but I was in kind of a unique situation and felt comfortable enough to be able to do this. Just barely comfortable enough, guys. But I hired back on with the W-2 in 2017, and through 2021, everything was great, especially when COVID hit. 2020 and 21, I could work unlimited, whatever hours I wanted to work. And I was trending to where within a year or two, I was I shouldn't say expecting, but I was hoping, and it was becoming possible, that I could gross like 6 figures as a bottom of the barrel, low level, no skill warehouse worker. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, that's how great I was doing there.
See, and that's amazing, but here's where I'm sure he's going to explain why it didn't work out. Let's see. Looks like he's about to sneeze.
2022, boom, this is what happened. Down, nose dive, down through the ground, folks.
Yep.
Took just hours, tailed off, and it's essentially kind of like converted to like a part-time worker with full-time benefits. And that's what led me to DoorDash and getting on with them in December of 22, and to supplement income. And in parts of 2023, there was parts of that year where I was making more on DoorDash than my full-time W-2. Okay, so, and then, so then I was doing both jobs and everything, and then
I was gonna say, it sounds like he was doing pretty damn well between the two jobs, even if the one was down to part-time hours with full-time benefits. I mean, that almost sounds like a dream. Did you have health insurance and stuff? Because that sounds great.
And then another huge game changer for me was last year, the beginning of the year, getting selected to be on the DoorDash Community Council. So that was kind of like the first really big, huge game changer, because after serving on that, if you serve on the council, they give you lifetime platinum status, or whatever the different tiers that they ever have in the future. I'm going to be locked in at the highest tier of
Now that's pretty awesome. That's pretty useful.
whatever program they have in the future.
Nice.
So that was game changing. And so with me being able to dash anytime, not having to meet the acceptance rate and everything, and the other different criteria that you need to be a Platinum Dasher. I don't have to meet those metrics.
Which is awesome.
So I'm in a very, very, very fortunate situation here. And then plus the other apps that I was able to add on within the last like year.
So because he was on the community council for DoorDash, because I have heard of this, what I'm wondering now is he more highly protected of deactivation? So like if someone tries to say they didn't get their order from him, right? Does he not get deactivated automatically? Does it go to like a manual review where they would reach out to him first? I wonder if he has deactivation protection.
Here. So that kind of first it allowed me to go part-time at the W-2 when my job was eliminated. Okay, and that was just it was the middle or end of April, I believe. And then so the job I was hired in to do, they just completely eliminated it. So like I said earlier in the video, that's when I went to part-time, and things, you know, just weren't working out. So then I just decided to quit on the W-2 altogether. Okay. So you know, fingers crossed I made the right decision. And I'm like I said, I feel comfortable enough in this decision.
Okay, well, I would say so, Joe, because if you are locked in with that platinum status for life and everything, because you served on the community council, it almost sounds like you get like that extra layer of protection from DoorDash. You know, so sure, if that's the case, it sounds like you're set because you're invincible. It's like God mode almost. I think that's what I'll make the title for this, is like, is this DoorDash God mode or something like that? Because oh man, you might be onto something here, my friend. I don't know. That's pretty wild. Do you think he's invincible from deactivation? Let me know in the comments. And let's see if we can get 1 like on this video, 1 comment, and 1 subscriber on our channel here if you're new. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's wrap it up.
I have DoorDash, I have the other apps, and I'm going to continue to search for other types. That's the thing. You don't want to put all your eggs in 1 or 2 baskets here when you're doing this independent kind of work. You got to get out there and search for other things. I recently, in some of my recent videos, you might want to check out if you're new to the channel, I started doing a property inspections. There's gig apps for that. I started doing that. I found out about this app where you pass out advertisements. I decided not to move forward with that, but I'm looking to see what all else.
The property one is really interesting. Have you guys heard of that? About the property one? And the advertisements one, I'm not sure which app he's talking about in particular, but yeah. See, these are all gig apps that you can use to diversify your income, like I've always said.
Is out there that I can get. And I think the next step for me that I'd like to try to do is try to search for some 1099 work in my area that is not like app based. So I'm gonna see, that's kind of like the next thing I'm curious about. So I kind of want to get on some job searching sites, some job boards, you know, see what I can find that's not like an app, and just kind of expand my my portfolio, if you will, of all the different kinds of ways that I make money. I've got several different sources right now and looking to add more, so we'll see what happens. And and I wish everybody watching, I wish you the best of luck as well, whether you're doing gig work, you know, just part-time, if you're a full-timer out there, you know, whatever your situation is, I wish everybody the best, you know, in their situation, their market and everything. And that's all I have for this video. So thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, be sure to drive safe out there.
So, guys, please go subscribe to Joe's channel. Let him know Pay to Drive sent you. So the question of this video is, do you think Joe is invincible from deactivations because of being on the community council? Let me know. And let me know who you want me to react to next. If you're new here, leave a comment saying, hey, Pete, I'm new. And of course, until next time, get that money, get that honey, keep hustling, keep bustling. We'll see you next time right here on Pay to Drive. And if nobody has told you yet, you are awesome and you are worth it. We'll see you guys on Patreon right after this video. Guys, go click on the Patreon link. Have a great one. We'll see you there. Peace.